What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Let's make sure we're live. Oh no, I might have messed everything up. We good? Alright, we're good. We got sound, we got all that fun stuff. Let me get my thing back on here real quick and turn this down. How you guys doing tonight? I hope you guys had a great day. Hope you guys didn't get over your skis. If you don't know, I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. I've been trading for about 7 years now. I've been in, obviously, this bear market. Been through a couple small bear markets. And, yeah, so my goal here is to be able to provide us with a trading group that we can go to. What's up, Cons? I hope you're doing good tonight, my guy. Hope you had a great day. Great job on that Neo call. So, again, if you find this information valuable, if you could, like, share, and subscribe. We're building a community of traders here. We don't ask for any money. We just ask for a like, share, and subscribe if you find this information valuable. But we also do ask if you're new and you're struggling. The purpose of this is to help you, is to see what it is that you're struggling with. And don't be ashamed. Everybody struggles with something, especially if you're new. You got to start from somewhere. All right, whether it's being able to hold trades, get into trades, making the right or wrong decisions, and going about it. Okay, so if you're new, go ahead, throw what it is that you're you think you could use some help with. Ask me a question, anything. Yeah, that thing was up like 10% today. Neo was up 10%. It was a lot of the electric vehicle companies. We'll go into that. I got a lot of stuff I'm going to go into. I'm going to get us all ready and covered for these earnings. So again, if you could, like, share, and subscribe. That's all we ask. We are live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. We're going to have these earnings calls on here. If you want to join us, we'll listen to them, and we'll come up with our thoughts. Our thoughts on the actual earnings, or the guidance or no guidance. Okay, the earnings call in and of itself. What did we learn? What did we think? What's it a tell for the sector? All right, maybe the company. So it's important that you do listen to some. All right, I think you guys are going to really learn a little bit with this stream, and really get ready. So if you do not, I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Get your pen and paper ready now. All right, while I get this up, because you're going to want to know this stuff. And if you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe. More importantly, we ask that you subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. That's my goal. It's just me that does this. It takes a lot of time to put it together, do the research, and then also take care of what I also need to take care of, and that is doing my research. What am I long? What am I short? Those kind of things. So I'm also going to do that with you here. First thing I want to get into, all right? First thing I'm going to get into, and I said it last night. If you didn't join us, by the way, last night, or if you're new, last night I came in to the day, and last night I had said energy and banks. Energy and banks. They've been my top watch. We've been talking about them for a week or so. We've been kind of like being a little patient with them, and they've been breaking out. All right, we mentioned Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America even. That's one that we had no idea what was going to happen, with Bank of America. It's just, that thing is just it's just not a performer as of late. If you compare it is a performer like as of late, but I'm talking as of late. If we go to a daily, like, look at this thing. It's if you've bought it from 2020, you're still there. you're still right around just above where you bought it. Everybody has their different things and stuff. So, disclaimer, really, this is your responsibility. If you, even on tonight's live, tomorrow's live stream, when we trade right here live, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, covering earnings and all that. If I take trades, or if I say I'm going to take a trade, this doesn't necessarily mean that you should be doing the same, because I'm not telling you what to do with your money, because it may not fit your risk tolerance. All right, we're here to just put a group together. What's going on in the markets? We share news. We have our Squawk Box. We have all that fun stuff live free of charge. Like, share, and subscribe. That's all we ask. But ultimately, you're responsible for your own money. If you run your own money, I can't tell you what to do with your money. This is not long-term investing advice, just more day trading. All right, this is just more so day trading. So let's get into it. Tomorrow, again, Bank of America. But again, we said Goldman Sachs, Goldman Sachs. And we're going to, this is all going to tie in, and I'm going to get into it right now. We're going to go over our charts, get our levels ready, get everything ready for these earnings that are coming up. Look at this pennant breakout, guys. I said, pullbacks, I'm a buyer. If it gives it to you. You got nice, decent volume here, which is saying you're going to get you've gotten follow through out of this pennant. All right, where do we find support? Can we get a pullback to 350? All right, that's going to be my first watch on Goldman Sachs. All right, see if we're able to get a pullback to 350. Doesn't mean we will, but I would sure like it if I got that opportunity. That would be a nice place for us to hit along. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to put that down right now. Again, if you didn't catch that, that level is 350. All right, 350. Oh, I'm sorry, 355. What was I saying? 350? 350 would be great. Yeah, that would be great. But 355. See if we can find support right here at 355. All right. It's like 355, 356. It's an area. I'd have to go into the 15-minute chart. But let's get into this. Let's get into the live stream. All right. Pretty much yesterday's high, or Friday's high, is where you would want to actually look to see if it can hold up at, right in this area. So I needed to clean up my charts. I somewhat did so, as you can see. I left some upside targets because it was getting to be a mess, and I needed to get it straightened out. All right. So tomorrow, and we've said this week, if you didn't catch the live stream, there's a lot of real estate data that's coming out this week, guys. The Fed's going to be paying attention to that. We have FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Okay, we have FOMC minutes on Wednesday. You do get some Germany manufacturing data. Oh, we got that today. That's for Monday. So we got the data today, the S&P manufacturing composite services, all right, for the month of July, all right, 52.4. That is down from the previous month, 52 down. Global manufacturing PMI obviously is still up, but now it's also contracting, as you can see. This is all showing you a slow look rates. And I also wanted to, before I even get off track, we're going to talk about rates. Short-term rates did go up, and your 3-month and 6-month bond are tied up together. All right, we still have some more bond auctions coming, bill auctions. If you know how, there's the term for these for bonds. It is determined. The vocabulary is determined on the time. Short term is bill. All that. I think I did a video on that. You would have to go back and find that. So tomorrow, make sure I'm in Tuesday, which I'm almost certain that I am. All right, we have Red Book, year over year. S&P Case-Shiller home price year over year and month over month. So this S&P Case-Shiller home price index is going to be important. The Fed's going to be watching this. Now, depending on what area you're in, maybe things have changed. Maybe home prices have went down. In these major cities and major areas, they necessarily haven't. And if they have, they've barely went down. They're still at these high sustainable levels with high rates, higher rates, which is crazy. It's going to take some time. Everybody's talking about, soft landing and not getting into like a small recession or things slowing down. Do they have to do more? Guys, do the best you can to don't listen to the noise. If you go to Fred, if you do your research, you will know it is at least a year after they peak in interest rates. When they stop interest rates, it's still a year out, year and a half. Could be a little less, could be a little more. For when you start to really see the unemployment, you really start to see the data come into where they have to cut. They put it up, they hold it for a tidbit, and then they bring it down because they're starting to see the data start to show whether it's unemployment coming up or the you know, the data is slowing, or the growth is contracting, and they know with that contraction that means unemployment's going to tick up, should at least, as things start to slow down. There's not as much money circulating, there's not as much demand, and that's their whole job, is to slow the demand of things. All right, we did have help with China, you've had help with the banks, but it's still, we have a still strong economy that we're just getting into that chapter of, a contraction and growth. Okay, we also have consumer confidence tomorrow. All right, previously down, but the consensus, not down, but 1.9.7 with a forecast of 111. Consensus is around 111.8. You have Richmond Fed manufacturing. All right, that's you still wouldn't mind seeing that. And you have Australia. Inflation rates year over year. You do want, rates are being raised around the world. It's going to have its impact. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Okay, it's just a matter of time. And we have trades, and we want to help you be able to set yourself up for those trades, knowing what to be in or historically what I'm going to be in, if you'd like to know what I'm going to be long and what I'm going to be short when we actually start coming into this, because there's going to be such great opportunities. You just need to know where to put yourself. All right, at least have some type of risk. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm going to have at least some risk allocated to those sectors and those places of the market. Now, the whole job is, where is the money flowing in? Where's the money flowing out? Okay, we've said it. Banks, energy, oil. Okay, money has been finding homes in those sectors. Consumer discretionary, I think, had a decent day today. I think it was up like, I don't want to say 7%, but probably close, I think. I'd have to look. I did look. I can't remember what it was, but I think, see, I don't know if the data was, sorry guys, if the data was, I just want to make sure we have sound. So, I don't know if it was like for the week, we obviously just started a new week today, but so I don't know. So don't quote me on that. What was the leader of the day? So, Wednesday, we have our FOMC minutes. We will get some crude inventory. We also have new home sales again. More real estate data. More real estate data. The Fed is going to be watching these. And it's this, I feel like it's the stickiest part of inflation. I think it's the one that they're most concerned about, along with food. Food, water, and shelter are the main basics and necessities of life. So that is where they're going to focus their attention to. If they can't necessarily just focus, maybe they can, maybe they can't. I don't know. We talked about last night, financial conditions are easing. Okay, when are the financial conditions going to start tightening? If you don't know where to find that, okay, I think it's FDX or FCX. FCX, I think. No, FDX. I'd have to look. I'd have to see where it's at. Let me see here if it comes up. But anyway, we know financial. It's not going to give it to me. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. So, yes, the data. Let me not get off track. So, financial conditions have eased. The Fed's balance sheet is still, it's up around its high 8 trillion area. Last I looked. All right. So we also Wednesday we're going to be going into our Fed rate decision, guys. There's so much, even just after this. Like, I don't even know. We'll get a little volatility here. But more importantly, not even this, but more important than, I think the most important out of all this data, it's going to be the real estate data is going to be important, because that's going to, the Fed's are really going to watch that. All right. We have GDP, ECB rate decision. Okay. They're catching up. We have initial jobless claims. All right. We have some bill auctions like we do just about every week. The Bank of Japan interest rate decision. That is what I'm going to want to see. And we also have PCE, the Fed's inflation tool that they use to give them a sense of inflation. This is what they use, PCE, if you don't already know that. Okay, we have Michigan consumer expectations. We usually will get some volatility with these numbers, but I think the volatility is going to be had with PCE, Japan, and then obviously the GDP number. So those are your three major catalysts this week, if I'd have to say. Bank of Japan's interest rate decision. Now, there may not be a surprise. It's just if there is a surprise with this BOJ, okay, if there is a surprise, this market is going to move. It most certainly should move if we get a surprise there, guys. That's why it's so important. I think it's on a lot of traders' radars. And then, GDP, PCE. But I will reiterate, we have a lot of real estate data. A lot of real estate data that the Fed's going to want to, that the Fed's going to be watching. All right, so let's get into what happened today, guys. The yield, the 2-10 spread is over 1%. I think it's like 1.1 now. What is the 10s? 3.87, right? 3.87 versus a 4.8. Oh, so it pulled back a bit. It pulled back. All right, they did. If you want to see the, we'll go into like a 2-hour maybe. All right, so there's a gap down there. We rose throughout the day in the Friday. So today is the 24th, correct? Yes. So look at the rise in yields, guys. It came back up to test this area. I think it may just sit here and float. I don't know. I don't see it going much higher. If it does, it's hard to say. What do I know? But if the Fed really starts talking about more interest rates after we get this one, if we get it, I'm going to tell you, I'm honestly thinking that the market will tell the Fed, you're doing too much too quick. You need to give it time. And they're going to start pricing in these, a murder in valuations. All right. That the valuations is what's going to get us into this, what I want to go over. So let's bring up our earnings real quick, because this is important, because but we have been focused on Dow stocks. At least I have. Okay. And in chat, because of the obvious reasons. If you want, take a look. Look at the Dow. All right. Look at the Dow on the daily, weekly, whatever. Sorry, guys. Like I said, get your pen and papers. We're going through these. We're getting our levels. We're getting our charts. Again, this is free. We trade live Monday through Friday right here, Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. 7:30, if not 7 or 6:30, I'll come on, but definitely 7:30 to 4, and we're going to cover all the earnings, discuss it, talk about it, good, bad, all that good stuff. The Dow just breaking out, guys. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. When it's on a tear, all right. And we've been again on the right side of the market. Fortunately, it may not always be this way, but I can say and attest since we've started this, that we've been on the right side of the market. Oh, it's no problem, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. I just hope I can give you guys the information that you need. So again, last night we said energy and banks. And then obviously, like Colin called out, the member in chat said, NEO called it out. It was up 10% today. You guys got that early. Okay, you got that early, guys. And if you're new, please ask questions. If there's something you're struggling with, let us know. Just under 11%, guys. Just under 11%. I think he called this out about 9:45 in the morning. He called this thing out. There was still a whole nother run. I almost started to trade it, but my morning and day was, I came into the morning saying, I don't expect that much. I am still looking at banks and energy. I get a pullback in either one. I'm a buyer. They just shot up out the gate. All right. They shot up out the gate. I'm going to help you guys, because these earnings we're going to go through to get these level for, it's a lot of Dow stocks. It's NASDAQ 100. Okay. They're coming. So There's the bull flag, and obviously I had my Fibonacci drawn for it, but look at that, man. There was still plenty of time for this trade to be put on. Look at the volume, guys. This is where you want to be. Collins, you're on the right side of the market, baby. I love to see this. Volume, RVOL, relative volume, ATR, average true range. When you get an increase, a double, triple, the average volume, you're going to get double, triple the move more than likely. Doesn't mean that you always will, but those are what we look for because that's liquidity. That is putting yourself in the best position to catch momentum to actually make money doing this. So great job, bro. You get a star. you get a star. Actually, as a matter of fact, if I traded this, I'd be sending you to the best steakhouse near you. So, unfortunately, I did not catch this trade. I could have taken it. I had time, but there's so much this week that I was kind of on pause. So, we got into the real estate data. We got into the yields. I also wanted to remind you guys, you could like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, honestly, seriously. We have inverse ETFs for stocks, guys. So, if you have, for instance, let's see here. Like if you go to like FinViz, right? Go to this is where you go to maps. First off, you'll go to the maps, which is right up here in the column. You can go to home where it's got a lot of stuff. You'll have your top gainers. Now, it'll be lagging. You won't get it. It might take a little while if you don't pay for it. But if you have Thinkorswim, it's in Thinkorswim. You can have your own scanners. You don't necessarily have to worry about that stuff. But it is a tool that you can use. Now, if you're ever curious, if you're in a sector or let's say if you're like long the S&P and you want to back that up with like a hedge, you could also do like a double or triple the dollar. Usually if the dollar goes up, the SPY will go down, so you'll be long both ways. That way, if the SPY pulls back and the dollar rises, you can cut one off, or even just doing it sector by sector like we do. We'll take stocks that are strong and match them up with the short side of stocks that are weak, and we'll catch both sides of the trade. Or if something really happens, like a bear market or bad news comes out, boom, you already got a short stock. You're short a stock that is already weak. So if something is that bad, you should really get some movement out of it. You cut the long. You obviously want to be taking profits on them. You obviously don't want to just be a beginner trying to do that. You may not know how to. All right. But let's get back to the maps, guys. So if you go to the maps, you have S&P 500, you have the world, and we sometimes have used this. Like, you notice how it's green. There was news with BABA today. We'll get into that. All right, I have the charts and levels written down for that. Notice how like things are kind of green here. Obviously, there's news because China, if you don't know, they're starting their earnings season. You had news with BABA separately, other than the fact that their earnings season is kicking off. I don't know if you guys know that or not. So there's a sector you could go to look to, do your research, come up with your own, your trade ideas. And if you want, throw them in chat. We give you ours. I mean, Collins, he threw out NEO today, guys. You guys had so much time to get on to that too. He called it early, man. I'm really happy. He's came far and he's coming far, and he'll only get better. He'll only get better with time, just like you guys will, So notice, like, you'll start to notice, like, one day you'll come in and like everything is like kind of red or deep red, and then you see it go to this maroon color where it's like kind of just like purple, where it's like flat, and then you'll see the shift into green. So you'll see like a Monday where it'll be red, it'll start to shift Tuesday, green Wednesday, and then you'll start to see the rotation and the direction. So these are some good things to use, but what I wanted to get at is your exchange traded funds. Like, you have double, triple leveraged ETFs, which, rest in peace, TVIX, my favorite. I love that thing. I played it so many times. I bought it so many times. So rest in peace to TVIX. You can, some ways that I do this is like, I'll get a triple leveraged ETF, right? And I only have to put on maybe a quarter, if not half, of the position size to get that upside or downside. to get that P&L that I'm looking for. These are some ideas you can use to manage risk. You can dwindle position size and catch these triple leveraged ETFs, or they don't have to be levered at all. You can back it up with a trade. You see a sector that's strong, maybe you're long it, and maybe you back it up with something else, So, or if you start to see that something's overdone, maybe you put a small piece of that profit in a triple leverage to the an inverse, which would mean that if that sector or stock pulls back, like let's just say semiconductors, if it starts to pull back, you could put a small piece of that profit in the triple levered inverse, which is if stocks pulls back, it will go up. Okay, you only got to put a little bit on for triple leveraged, or double, or no leverage, which is fine. Okay, it's up to you. You have your own risk tolerance. So I just wanted to remind you guys that these are out there to be, they are there and they're very useful. They're useful to protect risk. You don't have to worry about, if you buy it, you don't have to worry about, options decaying and all that good stuff, which you should already somewhat at least understand. Price action, time, theta, and your delta, your gamma. Really, your delta and theta and gamma are the ones you want to worry about, but you always kind of want to give yourself time. If you're in a momentum stock and you're a pro, don't even listen to me. That's what we want to catch. So I just wanted to reiterate that. A lot of people don't really think about it, and it's not talked about. Sometimes it's forgotten about, I feel like. Especially if you have like a nice down day or a big up day. Maybe you catch that inverse ETF and you got quarter size position or a half a size position, you get like a massive gain. Do not hold these overnight. Let me reiterate that one. Do not hold them overnight. Okay, because they will, I guess, rebalance in the morning. I'm pretty sure, now the VIX is a little different. Even TV, it's just not something you want to hold overnight. Okay, especially the inverse ETFs, because they redo it at the start of the day or at the end of the day. It's not like you can just buy like TQQQ and just go up and up and up and up and up and up. But just want you guys to also remember that they're more for playing for the daily. Maybe for a hedge for risk or what have you. So let's look at these earnings real quick. Let's get our levels. All right. And I'll tell you guys what I think. So tomorrow morning at the open, we have some decent companies coming out. I'm going to be looking at Spotify, Biogen, probably GM, 3M. Look, Dow stocks, guys. 3M's a Dow stock. I don't think Spotify is in the NASDAQ 100. If you don't know, you can go to CNBC. And they have a list of the Dow 30, the NASDAQ 100. You can go through and start knowing these companies, so that you don't have to wonder what sector they're in or not in. All right. So I'm going to run through this real quick. NASDAQ 100. Let's see. I don't think Spotify is in it. Come on. Okay, there we go. I don't think Spotify's in it. So JD.com is in the NASDAQ 100. How Baba isn't in there, I don't know. I don't know what makes JD better than Baba, but maybe it is. I'm not sure. I just found that funny. So no. So let's take it one by one. And tomorrow afternoon we have Microsoft. I'm going to get into Microsoft. I'm going to get into Google, Visa. Look, Visa, Texas Instruments, GE. All right, 3M. These are all Dow stocks. Dow itself is a Dow component. I have not charted Dow yet. All right. So depending on how they do it, and what this is also something to know, because you're going to start needing to remember, you want to be behind institutional buying or selling. You want to be on that same side. So if valuations are starting to get a little bit maxed out, and you see a valuation contraction, whether it's this earnings or next earnings, and they really pay the price, They're going to want to go where the money makes sense, and they're parking their money in low valuation companies where the PEs are low. They're not trading at 30, 40, 50 times earnings. They're trading at 10, 15, 12, 8, which is going to be like your Devon Energy, okay? I don't know how Oxy did, but let's pull up Devon. Okay, like look at these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days straight. All right, you had a break of that high. You pulled back, tested it, made it support, and you continue to rally. I was not a dip buyer. I should have been, but I wasn't. Didn't really get the chance, I felt. Like, look at Oxy right out the gate. Boom. Pulled back, rallied again. All right. So let's do it. Let's get into it right now. So I have the levels for Spotify. We'll go one by one. Let's look at Baba. What do I want to see with Baba? All right. So Baba got up to this previous pennant of our resistance is around $97. Okay, the high of the day is $97.50 roughly. We'll call it $97.50. All right, what do I want to see for Baba? I wouldn't mind seeing a pullback and seeing if we can't buy the dip here. All right, we gotta look and see when Baba has earnings. You can't just go long and say, yeah, I'm long Baba, because I'm looking for. Well, let's see if can get a day 2 continuation. I do not expect it to break this level the first try. All right, I don't expect it at all, which you have this previous base here. This is your gap fill. Your previous gap fill right here is where it gapped up, pulled back to it, rallied. All right, I mean, you can continue to just go left. And these China stocks, they kind of don't trade like, like other stocks where you'll get a break and retest, or you kind of got to watch with them. I think a lot of you guys may already know this. You'll just get gap ups and gap downs and so on and so forth. Kind of like natural gas or something like that. You got to know what you're doing. So, again, this may not fit your risk tolerance, but it has news. What was the news today? That they're not going to separate their business or do something for their Ant IPO. They have an IPO that they said that they're going to be coming out with. And that the news was related to that. Now, if you want to look it up, you can, so you actually know what exactly is going on. So I did not expect us to break through this the first time. Usually when you come up to a level like that, even on news, especially when you've had such a huge run, like look at that candle. Okay, that candle is pretty big. I didn't expect it. Let's see if it pulls back here. I want to see it pull back and hold this area right here. All right, that area is 94.50. Let's go to a 15-minute chart or a 30-minute. It doesn't really matter. All right. I want to see if we can hold this area first. I'm going to be looking for a pullback to 94.50. If Baba pulls back, let's see if it pulls back or it gaps down. I want to see if it holds. Okay, well, what happens if we get a gap up? Then obviously if we gap up, I'm going to look for the high a day or this 97 area to become support. Okay, it's been resistance. Got a double top here. All right, if we gap up, see if this high a day area, again, the number's $97, and it's roughly like a 50-cent range-ish that I would give it. I would give it at least $96.50. Okay. You know what? I would just give it, $96.50. $96.60 roughly. So you have a 50-cent, area there for Baba. All right. What would be our target? I'm not sure. This thing could actually pull back because it looked like, you see, this is a perfect break and retest. Pulls back, finds support at its previous lows. It sat here and consolidated. All right. You kind of have a little bull flag here. All right. Look at that bull flag. So, we'll have to see because we have earnings tomorrow. Maybe Baba doesn't get the attention that it needs. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. We'll have to see. All right. So I'm going to wait until tomorrow to see what exactly is going on. But if we get a pullback, then I'll obviously look to see if we can buy the dip around 94.50. Okay. Depending in the manner we get there. Now, if there's a lot high volume, etc., The low end of this range, again, is going to be 91.66. Call it 92. So 92 is the bottom of the range to 97. That's your range. A $6 range there. Or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. $5 range. All right, so just play the levels. All right, if you guys, again, we'll go over this in the morning. We'll revisit them. All right, let's look at Kava. Everybody's been looking at Kava. That's been one that's doing the same thing. A lot of these stocks are doing the same thing. You have a double top, a break, you broke out. Usually, like I always say, it's usually the third, fourth time. It doesn't usually break that area the first time. So you pull back, kind of a bear flag. What I'm going to look for on Kava is a pullback to this 51.50, 51.30 area. Okay, I would even, if it starts to curl like and does a little belly, give it $50 that'd be it. That would be it. Anything under that, I'd expect, I'm just going to wait and let it pull back to this area again and then see what it wants to do. Maybe it takes time. Maybe it just consolidates up here. But it had nice volume today. Let's see if it brings in more volume. Look at the volume here. Now let me show you. I'm on a 15-minute chart. Look at the volume compared to, let's go right here. I'm going to bring it up for you. Why do I say this? Look at the selling that you have waiting for you up there. Okay? Look at this selling, guys. You see the selling and the volume you have up here at 55.50? So just keep that in mind. All right, you're long up into that area. We'll see if you break. You may break it, but you're going to need more volume tomorrow. You want at least volume that's heavier than that sell-off. So if I go to the daily, right, even if I can get, and the volume doesn't, the volume could just happen all day where it's a continuation. All right, it doesn't just have to be like the candles are, if you get candles higher than it. Yeah, that's true too. You could. But now I don't know who wants to sell this where it's at. Are they wanting to sell some? Does a stakeholder want? I don't know. This is why it's a probability game. I just know that when I get up there, I can expect some type of selling that may take 2-3 times to push through this level of 55. 55, 50, 55 area. Whoa, what's going on here? Sorry, guys. It just started moving. So you're going to want to at least see, you got it. The volume's got to get there. So if we start to see rising volume, this thing could go. You just found support off the 9 EMA on the daily. All right. RSI is just, it's not too oversold. All right, it's putting in a new high, and that looks to be just under that previous pivot high here, where the RSI was here, and it's just under it, right at it. So that's a good sign of, strength, because if you put in a high and it pulls back, and you start to make like a higher high from here, and it's still lower, then that means it still has room to the upside, and you can, possibly get a chance to break that level. We're just going to have to see. I just know probability would tell me that there's a lot of sellers there. Let's just see if they're still there. Or do they step back and then get in at a higher price? You start getting into no man's land, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But you can't ignore the volume that's up there. All right. So that's Kava. Let's go to CVNA real quick. Carvana now. CVNA. So this was the area that I was giving it to. So I was doing a little bit of work on this. We've turned this previous earnings into resistance now. So we kind of have to watch for the downside here. All right. Let's see, if we gap up tomorrow, I will obviously look for the pullback into 46.50 and turn today's resistance, all right, into support. Let's go to 5 minutes so you guys can see exactly what I mean. All right, this little this area right here. If it gaps up, I want to see it pull back and kind of just curl itself up. If you don't get like a massive selling going on there. All right, I'll give you guys the levels again real quick. Let me get this so you guys can see it and jot it down. Now we're going to go into earnings after these. So it's turned it into resistance. We have a zone here. We have this pennant breakout. What it's been doing is it's been, putting in a pennant. It's been making a new high, consolidating, pulls back, holds that prior high, and then curls back up. It's been doing this for a month and a half. So with this earnings and them saying that they're doing the stuff with their shares, I can't think of the word right now. They're doing offerings or they're diluting shares. It may hurt it. There may not be the chance. It's not like everybody has checks from the government and we got a GME or AMC thing going on here. But I can say, like I said the other night, if this thing just sits here and consolidates and takes time, man, this thing can go. So I haven't ruled it out, but I also haven't ruled it in. I'm reading the chart. That's all I'm doing. So as of right now, we got this previous earnings support is now resistance. So worst case on the short side, you could see 37.21, call it 37 flat. Okay, that's the bottom of the base. But you do want to watch this minor support area or prior resistance. All right, that's going to be at 42, call it 42.50, 42.30, okay? You have this area right here. Now, this is where I'm going to be watching it, this square. I've had it up. All right, so see if it curls here. And then if it breaks, we got to see what it does. Does it gap up or gap down tomorrow? All right, you could get a nice short here, even 42 to 38. Like, there's still some space here for it to give you a nice move, whether it's to the upside or downside. All right. And the daily, let's just make sure we don't have, yeah, that's what I thought. It's above all major moving averages, so we don't have a 50-day. We don't have to worry about anything like that. And I went through Spotify. Spotify had a move. I went through that last night and in the morning, so yeah, no weekly anything. It's sitting in the middle of the 50 and the 100. If you guys can or cannot say, oh, let me do something for you guys before I forget. Let me pull this out for you. I do apologize. I've noticed that you guys can't see the my full chart. I have to fix it. So, do previous earnings stats tell? You would have to listen. You'd have to go back and see what the guidance was or wasn't, but not necessarily. It's hard to say if they had a good quarter or not. And are they going to raise guidance? Has something changed? So what we'll do is we'll pay attention to that now. BJD, yeah, dude, BJDX went off. NASCAR, how you doing tonight, my guy? Good to see you again. Yeah, dude, I actually almost played that reverse split play that double today. It did. It was up like 1,000%, wasn't it? At least that's what it said on the scanners. I was looking at BJDX. Where's she at? She should still be here, right? See on here it said 2,747%. Yeah, I was watching her. Man. So small cap today was the day for it, and I missed Kava. I went over that last night and whatnot. So today was a perfect day for them. It was a perfect day for them to kind of break out. We didn't have much. We just have so much coming towards the end of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's like Google, Microsoft, Meta, data, GDP, Japan, rates. I wouldn't even really say rates, but PCE and GDP. It's just a lot. So it was a day where I should have already known to just be looking for small caps. Post split price was around 6 rand. Yeah, it did. I was watching them throughout the day. I cut out a bit early today. So what happened to me was I was watching AMD for the breakdown, and I accidentally got into the position a little too early, and it reversed on me. I literally, guys, I got in right here, on this downside. I think I got in here. It was like right here on the break to this level, and I'm telling you, this thing just whoop went right back up, and I'm like, man, it's just trying to hold a base in there. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't even want to be. Why am I doing this? There's no reason. It's not going to give me some big momentum. Like, I want this. I don't want this. Okay, and I also don't want to get in and it completely reverse, and then it gets back down to my price and my options are still red or barely green. So, because I know how options work. So I stopped out of it, and I'm like, you know what? Not today. I didn't even mean to click it. I didn't even mean to get into it. I just had the position ready. I was watching the prices, and I felt like I could get some downside on it. Wasn't looking for much, just like a base hit, double play. or a double, and at least catch a dollar or two, and it worked. But I could not go in after that because I'm like, now I got to worry about high a day, or Friday's close and then pre-market highs. But it got just above Friday's close, literally right at it just about, and then just flat out shook everybody. And I said, guys, wait a little bit again, because I didn't mean to. I did not mean to get into the position, and I was upset. I'm like, I am not starting a big week like this, like that. So I just, I I just said I'm good. So I just kind of just hung out, went over some charts and everything, and that was my trade. And I shouldn't even have traded because I was watching Kava. I had my eyes on Kava, and it did the thing. I could have probably gotten this pullback here to the 9 and caught the rally, but it is what it is. It's all good. Trading's not perfect. You're going to make mistakes, All right, let's go to Microsoft, guys, real quick, and I'm going to go into some others. Well, let's worry about tomorrow morning first. So Spotify reports. Now, I brought up on the weekly chart. Look at this. Look at this, guys. This thing just literally rejected the 200-day just about. And look at the tail coming into that 200-day. So this was a decent pullback. These are the companies that I want to see if valuations are a little too high. All right. Forward multiples, are they a little too high? All right. Because this is the type of company where, are they going to have trouble growing at the rate in which they were or want to? Now, a lot of these companies have pulled back estimates and earnings. Usually the big reverse split plays. Yeah, I know. They do. Yep. They split theory is traders aren't going to want to jump into a stock that is up over 1,000%. I know. I think it was just a lot of people, man, were in that sector because they were just, I think we all kind of knew that the S&Ps and the indexes weren't going to do too much. And if you didn't catch the banks or energy out the gate, it was like you had to chase those things. So it was a perfect example. Like all those things are breaks this range. Yeah, AMD will piss you off. It's a stock that you just got to let it. You just got to just trust your levels, give it time, and give your options time too, if that helps. But today, if you think about it, like today was a perfect day for those stocks to kind of break out, or like just to kind of get that to get some small cap action in, because I think we all knew that like the overall indexes weren't going to do too much today. It was going to be a quiet day with all that we have coming. So Spotify, let me give you guys these levels real quick. So you did find support here at 160. Let me bring it in. So Spotify, look at the heavy volume coming in ahead of earnings. Now, this doesn't mean anything. It could. Maybe there are people that are like, you know what, I'm going to take profit because we don't know because we just had this whole like mid large cap tech, like just rally. And I'm not talking large cap as in, your Apples and Microsofts, not your mega cap tech, but your Spotify's, your Shopify's, all your Fi's. No, I'm just kidding, like Roblox and stuff. So we found support, guys. This support level is 160.50-ish. Yeah, 160.50. All right. So let's go to a 15-minute chart. Oh, daily. There is see, all these stocks kind of look the same. All right. They're above all the major moving averages. That's one tell. All right. We got an increase in sell, and you actually got it back here. All right. When we started to get into that weekly 200 moving average. All right. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. This is a nice setup. I'm going to watch Spotify tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Are we going to go back up to test the 180 range? Or are we going to be coming back down to 152, psychological 150 area? All right, I'm going to be watching it. It's on watch for me. This thing's rallied out the gate. What do the valuations, what do the earnings look like? All right, what do they look like? That's what I want to see, is this type of company. All right, so that's Spotify. They report tomorrow morning. Biogen. Biogen is another NASDAQ 100 stock, believe it or not. BIIB. Not sure how this thing's going to move. I probably won't even trade it unless there's a surprise. So unless there's a surprise, then I may not be fooling with it. Now, it's It's got a bearish setup. I mean, not really. So what it's done is it's gapped up and it's putting in the base, and now you are in an area where you could buy the dip for a rally, put in a base to make the next leg higher. This would be the perfect spot. And look at the volume. You do have some nibblers. You do have some institutional. You do have some people buying this because of that very reason. All right, it's a setup we all know. It's not much volume, but it's bigger than average. All right, it's bigger than average. So again, you just have to wait for earnings. So we get the rally, put in a base, you kind of pull back, shake them out, make the next leg higher. Does that start to happen with Biogen? It looks like it's kind of curling up to me. That's a higher low with volume. And that volume is just about the same as that. It's about the same. So we'll see with Biogen. It is a NASDAQ 100 stock. We have GM. I'm not really worried about GM. It'll kind of move forward. It may move Rivian, so that's why we can worry about it. I pulled it up earlier. All right. I don't think we're all really worried about Biogen at this moment, unless it makes a surprise. We'll find out in the morning. If it surprises, then we can trade it. Then it'll be a trade. So GM is putting in a break and retest on the daily with a consolidation on top of the previous pivot. All right, this pivot high, it's consolidating on it. It could not break yet. So, GM is a value stock. It doesn't really move that much. I want to say you'll get more of a movement out of Ford, maybe. I may be wrong on that. But Ford, we called Ford out weeks back. And look at what it did. All right, it was a beautiful setup. So GM, I'm just going to look for, and again, is it a surprise? Is it just in line? And then the guidance is like lowered? Like, that's what we're going to look for. All right, if this does break, I'm going to be looking for this, it's a little tough. 35.98. Call it 36. We'll see if we can get back down to the 200 day. That's where I'd like to see it. 36.50. All right. Let me just pull up an hourly chart, and we'll go from there. So you've had a break. You had a rally, a pullback. You retested the pivot high, rallied again, pulled back. Because why? The Dow, the transports have been going. So a lot of these stocks have been going. These are Dow stocks. Let's see. So again, I'm just going to watch for the pivot high. All right. Which is up here, we'll call it 41 even. That's our pivot high. And then we'll look for, I don't know what it's expected to move, This is the range so far. And then if you do break it, you got to look for the bottom of the range here at, this is the level. 35.85, call it 36. All right. 36. That'll be the bottom end of the range if something bad happens to them, or if they lower guidance and it's a total shit show. Excuse my French, I'm sorry. So again, 36 is the bottom of the range that I'm going to look for. If nothing happens, then nothing happens. Then you look to just stay support at 38.2. High side is the previous pivot high at 41. All right, on GM. Let's go into another Dow stock real quick. I don't really play them that much, but 3M. All right, I'm just going to cover a couple for the morning. Let's go to the daily first. We'll go to the weekly. Okay, that's right. 3M had news, and it's just been bad. Maybe it's a buying opportunity. I don't know. There was lawsuits, something going on with like their hearing stuff for like the for the military and stuff like that. And it's crazy that they can do stuff like that to companies, but it's like, what are they going to do? Like, you can only do so much R&D. You can only do so much research and development and all that stuff. Like, if something doesn't work, okay, then speak up. Don't wait till things are wrong and then say, yeah, you did this. It's not like they meaningfully did that. But anyway, it's had some trouble. The Dow's been breaking out. This has been an underperformer. All right. You have broken above the 50-day. You put in a double bottom. That's not what I want to see out of them. It is what I want to see out of a MACD, actually. So you guys see how we put in a low? I'm going to show you. See how we were putting in new lows, and that's not a new low, but new lows here. Look at your MACD, low, 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 come back, you put in the actual low, and look at the MACD. Your MACD's higher. That's bullish divergence. And then, funny enough, you get your gap up. You got a gap up. So it's consolidated. It's pulled back with a higher MACD. We'll see what happens with this stock. I'll be watching 3M. Kind of, maybe I'll just play the stock itself. I don't know how the options are on it. It may not be that liquid, depending on the spread. Maybe it's something where you sell spreads. Maybe I won't play it. But I just figured I'd bring it up. It's above the 100-day moving average. You could not close to make a new high today because they report tomorrow. So I'm not really too concerned with it. It's, it is what it is. We'll see what happens tomorrow. This thing probably doesn't trade that well. I can just tell. And if you guys have anything you want me to throw up on the chart, by all means. MSCI. Why do I know MSCI? We have Albertsons, GE, Raytheon. We can look at Raytheon real quick, and then we'll go over Microsoft, Google, and stuff like that. What is it? RTH? I should have looked. Yeah, let me look and see what it is. Raytheon. I thought usually I'm good to know usually I know these tickers. RTX. That's right, RTX. We should start to see with Raytheon, these defensive stocks, with everything that's been going on with Ukraine, they're at all-time highs. You had a rally, put in your base. Maybe it pulls back a little bit more, and then you get the second leg. Hard to say, but it's holding a 50 weekly moving average. Let's go to the daily, and it's pinned. It's actually got a pennant going on here. I don't know if this was a mess-up day or what's going on. I don't know what that is, if that's meant to be there. It was in earnings. Okay. So that's an earnings. Open. All right. I don't like that either. Let's do this. All right. We'll see if this thing ends up breaking out. I'm not going to worry about that one where it gapped up, open, and just completely sold back off. So we'll see. It's coming into a point where it's got to do something. And what shows you this is how small and tight the candles are. When you see things like this, it's getting squeezed into like an up or down move. The RSI is low. MACD is just negative. Does that give it strength to go up or down? The RSI being down on the daily tells me this has more room to go up than it does down. Isn't always the case, but so more with that. This is a stock that I'll probably just buy the stock itself if there's a play there. So not too much. Let's get into the good stuff, guys. Sorry to go over the boring ones. Really, I wanted to see Spotify for tech. If there's anything on here you guys want to see, you just let me know. Snap, let's do it. Snap. Texas Instruments is a Dow stock. Visa, Google, Microsoft. We'll see Snap. And is that Manhattan something? All right. So let's go. Let me start with Snap because I have the levels already ready. All right. You have somewhat of a nice break and retest trying to form here. Now, again, you can Meta usually always moves with Snap, or at least it used to. Now that it's changed, I don't know if it will so much anymore. All right. So Snap, I gotta go to the weekly. A lot of these stocks look the same. It's got a 100-day coming down through the 200-day on the weekly moving average. That's a little bearish. You're at the point where it's like it's either going to break out or it's not. It broke out and now it's holding this area. I don't know if you guys can see it that well. I'll make it a little bit better for you. Let's see here, like right here. There we go. You guys see how it broke out of this base? See, look, support. Support. It breaks down. I can put a line there for you. This line right here. It's even a little lower. Now, again, this is a weekly candle for anybody that's new. So there's your resistance. Support was broken, turns into resistance. Okay, we chop around, double top, pull back, higher low, rally. This is when the NASDAQ and all these mid-cap tech companies took off. Now what do we have? Do we have a bear flag? Boom. Do we go higher? I'm wondering. I don't know. RSI is pretty high. MACD. And a lot of these things will kind of help you. Again, this is a weekly chart, so we can't really, go off of it too much. But we'll see what happens here. Let me go to the daily. Let me do this. So it's been on a tear. If Snap has bad earnings, I look for it if they're lower guidance and things are just not good. You gotta think about 1150. You gotta think about it pulling back here to this area. If not, even getting back down into the $10, $11 area. For now, this is the levels I have. I'll go to a 15-minute chart, make it easier. All right, this isn't too bad of a setup if it can just hold up. It'd have been nice to get a retest here and then boom, break out. Because you have a lot of these companies. It's like, what are the valuations? I don't know. I have to look. Because if the valuations aren't that bad, then, and they just have like okay earnings and it's only trading at like 20 times, 15 times, then this stock might go up. And it could rally. Money could find a home there. So what am I going to look for with Snap? Obviously, we have earnings in the afternoon. We'll have to see what happens. You've broken this support level, though. So now it's like, what are you going to do? It's a mixed bag. It's sitting right at it now. All right. This was your support. Support here at 1275. It was broken. It's trying to come back up above it after hours. So if we get a small gap up, I would look for, and this is what I want to see, is $13 even to act as resistance. All right, so on Snap, I'm going to see if 13 acts as resistance, and then it pulls back just to where it was today, 1275, until it goes into earnings. So that's something we'll watch because it's in the afternoon. All right, but upside targets, obviously the top side of this range, and that's at $14. We have our pivot high at $14, but you have a double top here at $13.60. Call it $13.58. So it's right here. It's a triple top. It's a little zone. I'd have to put a box here. So Snap could give us some liquidity. It's cheap enough where anybody with money could think about playing the shares instead of options. So you don't have to worry about, getting filled in an option, the spread being a little wide. Think about the stock itself. If it's good or even if it's bad, short it. I'll probably be playing the stock itself. So let's go into Microsoft. Let's go into Google. We have Chubb, Wastemaster, Snap. Really, I'm just worried about Texas Instruments, Visa, Google, Microsoft, and so on. All right, so let's go to Microsoft, MSFT. All right. So there's a level here I want you guys to pay attention to. It reports after the bell, so premiums might be a little high. Okay. The resistance of today was at 345. Oh, I'm sorry, 346. Okay, 346. If we come in the day tomorrow and it's holding after hours, can you guys see that? Right here. 346. All right, 346 now support. We want to, if it holds or if it gaps up, depending on how much it gaps up, we want to see if we can get a run and a test back up to 350, 150. This area right here. All right. There is a support, a minor support area. Okay, a small level right here at 349.65, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. I think if you go, you go. You'll get a slight pullback at Friday's open, or Friday, yeah, right around where right around where it opened Friday, which is going to be, it's going to be this area here. I like that better. Sorry, I need something to drink. I think Microsoft could be. See, Microsoft, the stock to me, like, it's used everywhere. Do they raise or lower guidance? I don't know. I can say that they have an opportunity to raise guidance because there's more. If there's more stimulus from the governments use it for police, They use it for schools. Okay, what else is Microsoft used at? State and local buildings for whatever it is. Okay, Microsoft is used a lot, from cops to education, school. I'm sure hospitals, ambulances, doctors' offices. I don't see Microsoft lowering guidance. Unless they see an actual full-blown recession, how can you lower guidance? So I would not, and even with stimulus still possibly there that they could spend. All right. I think Microsoft has got to be the bullish case out of all of them, guys, for that alone, that reason alone. Microsoft, and unlike Apple, is used literally in everything. Okay. Schools, hospitals, police officers, teachers. I already said schools. Me at home, a lot of other individuals at home, other countries. So Microsoft is that stock where I think they could raise guidance. I really do. And it wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me if they get hurt and go to the downside. I don't know why they would. And if it does, you got to be a buyer somewhere. But again, it's at all-time highs. It's all about the valuations. And maybe now we still get a run up, but there's going to come a time when things slow down and the GDP is just awful, and we go into a quarter where valuations are so extended and we're coming into a time of contraction that these valuations are not going to want to get bought, and they're going to be trading too high of a multiple, and they're going to exit their positions and they're going to take their profits and park it somewhere else. All right. So, and you also have treasuries to worry about with liquidity. This has ran, and if anybody's missed it, they're not putting new money in at these levels. They're going to wait for pullbacks and sit in treasuries. So that could also hurt more upside. But again, I'm bullish Microsoft. You have to be. Now, again, I don't know what multiple it's trading at, so I'd have to look at that. It's important to know these things. We'll go into it more tomorrow on the live stream. Let's go. Oh, levels, guys. So obviously our first level, if this holds, okay, if this 345.88, 346 area holds, okay, if we get a small gap up, or if we're here, if we get a small gap up tomorrow and say we open up like right here tomorrow, right, 347.50. If we open it around 347.50, I'm going to look for the pullback into 345.80, maybe call it 345.50. I don't even know though. Yeah, 345.50. So I'm going to be a pullback. I'm buying pullbacks. Let me just keep it short. I'm buying pullbacks, guys. 346. I'm a buyer until it breaks, and I'm going to look to catch upside to 351.50. All right. I want to see if we can fill the top end of this channel. All right, we got 3 channels going on. You got a channel up here from the highs to this support and resistance area. This whole area is a channel. And then this area, like I said, from 351.50 down to 342 is an area or a channel. And then you have another lower channel, which is down here. Now, I can put up boxes and all that stuff, but 326.75 up to the support area 352. That 1, 2, 3. 3 channels there to trade off of. So we'll see. If we get back up to 349.50, I'll probably be out of my position. That's Friday's open. All right. That's Friday's open. This is where I'd be exiting my position if I get long. And I'll put a little line there. Actually, I don't need to. I know where it's at. All right, let's go to Google. Google's been the weaker one. It's got a lot going on with it, okay? Google's used, but it's not used in the sense of like Microsoft and whatnot. It's just something going on with it, man. Something's going on with it, with Google. It's been struggling, I feel like. Again, maybe it also trades different, but Google's putting in a consolidation on a weekly 100-day. Look at that consolidation and hold. And you finally got the balance. It pulled back and still held. It's decent volume though. So With Google, we got to wait and see what the earnings are, but these stocks are going to give us opportunity because they're going to be liquid. There's going to be volume. You know, do they surprise and it's a beat and we catch upside? It's just, I feel like it's struggling. It just could not get above this area. The area I'm talking about is 126.50. All right, it just could not get above it right here. You see this prior support? Sorry, the mouse is so easy to click and right here, guys. There it is. Right here. This was the support area I'm talking about. At 126. Came down, support, rallied again and just flat out broke it. Big downside on Google. So that will be the upside of the range that I'll look for tomorrow. Let's go inside the daily. So it broke the 50-day. This is the second break of the 50-day. It came up to it today and could not close above it. Could not close above it. Turn this previous range. Okay, look. Bounce down. Boom. Bounce down, bounce down, bounce down, bounce down. All right, this is the range right here. And that area is 322 flat. Or, I'm sorry, 122 flat. And that's about where it closed. It broke up above it today. Closed back down. Could not hold its gains. Okay. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Look at the resistance we have there. All right, look at the resistance. Hold on one second. Sorry, my cat was at the door. Oh, my back. So you see, it's pretty clear, the resistance area. All right, it's pretty clear. You get up to 122, 120 area. It's been an area. This 122 has been an area where it's just struggled at. It's trying to hold up. You know, it's putting in higher lows here. I just don't know if I trust. Let me go out a little bit further on this so you guys can see. Google's just, you know, it put in its base. It pulled back. And it just couldn't make that extension higher like you would want to see. You would want to see after this pullback, which would be the shakeout, that it rallies. You know, it didn't. It just made a new lower low and then rallied, but then quickly rejected. All right, quickly rejected to 126. So this pullback, it's just holding, and I feel like it's just making lower highs is what it's ultimately doing. So we have an area here. If we do get, what's going on here? Oh, the square. So watch this right here, guys. Right there. So our pivot high from today, all right? Resistance 123.50. It's 123.40, but it could be a few cents. It's 123.50. All right? That's our resistance. We did have support here at 122 flat. So there's your 50-cent range as of right now. Or no, 122 and then 123. Okay. So it's $1.50. Sorry. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to be using this Google for these earnings. I'm going to be using top range and bottom range, honestly. Now, I'll have to go off and do a percentage move. I don't know what the market's expecting of it. The RSI, let's see on the, I don't need to look at the daily. 30-minute, that's fine. You know, bottom of the range is going to be 117 roughly on the low end. And then the high end is 120. It could even be higher. Could actually be 129, but I don't think it'll get that high. I'm just curious to see. I really just, I don't know about Google. I really don't. You know, I'm not sure how it's going to do. So you have a small double bottom here. You know, well, I'm going to wait on Google. You know, I'm just going to play the top and bottom end of the range. So if I have to go to an hourly chart, it's just an ugly looking chart, guys. Unfortunately, it is. It's just an ugly chart. So we do have support at 119.25. So maybe we see if we pull back into there. But these earnings, if they're bad, it's going to break it. You know, it's going to give you a move you know, a decent move. Should give you a good day on Google, and Google's pretty liquid. All right, so we have Google, we did Microsoft, we did Snap. Let's look at Texas Instruments real quick, and if there's anything else you guys want to look at, TXN. All right, so these earnings are going to be important. I want to get going to bed too. Texas Instruments. Let's go to the weekly semiconductors. So you can get a sympathy play with AMD, with Nvidia, depending on this. Taiwan Semiconductors. Okay, they've already reported. You have a flat top resistance here, making lower highs. I'm kind of curious if it tries to break itself out. All right, there's the top end, and we could not close above it today. That's 186. The level is going to be 185.88 or 185.75. Okay. Let me see here. There's a pullback there. This thing's consolidating, guys. This thing looks like it wants to make a move somewhere. Like, look at the pennant it's putting in. You know, look at that. Oh, I don't have the diagonal on there. Let's go to the daily. With a consolidation like this, we should see the moving averages somewhat close to it. All right. Texas Instruments is a Dow stock, by the way. This is actually, sorry. Let's go here. And I appreciate you guys joining us. If you could, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And join us in chat. We're live Monday through Friday. Right here, Ivy League Trading, 7:30 to 4. So, let me see. I kind of want to just see the ranges, though. Man, this thing's holding up here. Oh, come on. I hate that I have to go back. It's not perfect. Look, you just got a 50-day crossing above the 200-day. It just broke it and then broke back above it. So I wouldn't even actually use that with Texas Instruments. So this is the level I'm going to be looking for. All right, this level is 178.91. Call it 179. Okay, that's the bottom range, 179 at the bottom range, and at 185.75, 186. 186 top range, high a day today, 179 for the low end. All right, let's go to the 15-minute chart. And I have some things. Oh, I already went over it with you guys. I went over it. If you guys are understanding, like, when this valuation comes, this volatility is going to be there. So I would be ready, because once this volatility gets there, it's going to be on and popping. I'm telling you. It may not be this quarter. It may be next. So that's what we have there. If you guys have anything you guys want, we do have Coca-Cola also coming up. Boeing. Oh, trade ideas. Trade ideas, guys. I don't want to miss that. So I was looking at Boeing today. Again, another Dow stock. What does Boeing do? Okay, do we pull back and hold this level? 215. 215 becomes support on Boeing. It has earnings Thursday. Is it Thursday or Wednesday? No, it has earnings Wednesday morning. Actually, Wednesday morning. All right. Great. Now I'm going to start itching because I just itched it. And I didn't even need to. So, it as in my face. If you could, like, share, and subscribe. Look at, STBX. I'm sorry, man. I didn't even see that. STBX. Let's do it. STBX. Sorry, I just seen that. All right, let's do it. Let's go to the weekly just first off. All right. I don't like Thinkorswim because of the way it does its charts. Let's go to the daily. It's in an uptrend. That's crazy. Do you know what the float is on this? I can look. I'll look at it on my own time. I'll look at the float on my own time. Let me see here. Let's do this. Let's go to automatic. Boom, boom. And there's no volume at all. This thing just has no volume with it, which is all good. Steady. Steady Eddie. I mean, look at you. You got an uptrend. You got an uptrend. Got an uptrend. Let's do this. Were you STB Starbucks or Starbucks? Yeah, STBX, because you would have already said, you would have said S bucks. Let's do it. Boom. You'll have to hit me up sometime, NASCAR. I like trading these, and I like penny stocks as top of your range. Let's see here. Boom. There's my levels. There would be my levels and upside if you break up above there. Top ran 427 a week prior. UCAR ran over 1,000%. Debut of 420, maybe UCAR move is what prime top run. Yeah, and TUP ran today. I wanted to look at top. Remember we were talking about top? You know, that thing's kind of just was sitting there quietly. So this is what we got. This is what I came up with. We break up above, hold this 4. If we're able to hold like roughly an area of 438 to 430, give it a little bit of room, and this thing could start to make its way up here. 519, 650, you know. But yeah, I gotta see top. It's one that's just been sticking with me for some reason. Yeah, it couldn't. What's that, UCAR? Man, it almost had it. It's still, you know what? It's still putting in higher highs. If something happens, this thing could still go. TUP ran today also, and as you can see, I had it out. So I wonder if we can get a day 2 continuation on this. It actually had some decent volume too. 10 million, just about 10 million shares traded on this today. I mean, obviously it's a dollar stock, so it's like kind of, you know, it's not like 10 million shares traded on a $5 or $6 stock, but you know what I'm getting at. But so I already have the levels for TUP. If you guys do get a day 2 continuation or a consolidation above the 100-day, if we pull back and hold the 100-day moving average, could be a I guarantee you, watch this. If I pull this up, I wouldn't doubt if this is like the 23.6 fib, if not the 38.2. I think it'd be the 26 fib. Nope, just in between it. Damn it. Oh, shit. That is the move. There were 3 low float IPOs set to debut. Oh, nice. Volatile day for IPOs. Yes. Yeah, it could be. That could be fuel. Anytime that stuff gets going, STBX, I can see on it like they could get nervous and short squeeze. STBX could get a short squeeze going. Especially because you know how it is. Once something goes, risk starts being managed and they all start going. And you could just be quietly sitting in yours, you know, just riding your shares up higher, you know, not fighting it, just sitting back, taking profit, throwing orders out there. I'm gonna keep TUP on my watch list for this pullback to the 100-day, which is evenly. Look, oh my gosh, I had the fib up, of course. NASCAR, or I could probably Google them tomorrow. If you're, I don't know if you're working or what tomorrow. If you get on early in the morning or something, I'll get this set up. If you find out there's IPOs tomorrow, let me know. Throw them in chat so we can get we'll run through them. Because you could also get still another day of anticipation of data and stuff like that. I think ELWS, JNVR. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Especially with them being new IPOs, they'll be, you know, the float, like you say, if they're low floats, and whatnot. That definitely helps. And the IPO sector's been heating up. Speculation yes, going to be the big winner. It's a Japan company with a good underwriter. Nice. So that is ELWS, folks. For any of you guys out there watching this later, keep eyes out. I'm gonna have them on my watch. So that's really all, guys. I've been watching Dow Stocks Energy stuff. I'll come in with my game plan tomorrow. I mean, the S&Ps. I'll give you my thoughts on the S&Ps. I'm gonna be watching small caps, mid caps. All right. Especially depending on how some of these mid-cap tech companies start to do. Maybe you start to see squeezes. You know, maybe they are. There was a somewhat of a short squeeze on these mid-tier tech companies, these mid-cap tech companies, and you know the valuations made sense. They started buying. People that were short had to start buying the shares too. You just had this big rally. So if they also do good again, and they surprise you, get more of an upside, man. You could really get this thing going. You could get the small cap section going. This is how market psychology is. I know NASCAR knows about it. And if, you know, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. This is not financial advice. But stick to your own risk tolerance, you know. I trade everything. Small cap, mid cap, large cap. Trade it all. Had some nice opportunity today. It is what it is. I shut it down early. So the S&Ps tomorrow, we just have earnings. I honestly, we don't have much data tomorrow. I just think we sit in this range, guys. I really do. I think we sit in this range. Maybe tomorrow, maybe we retest this 453 area tomorrow. I actually bought puts up here, 453 puts. I think I bought them here, though. I think I bought them here and got rid of them down here. Small trade today. I can't remember if I bought them or not. I'd have to look. I had it up. Don't remember if I pulled the trigger on it. I think I did. I think I bought 453 puts for tomorrow right here. There was your shakeout, and it just broke down. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, guys. I appreciate you guys joining me. If you guys have any other questions, I went over Spotify. Again, watch Kava. We have IPOs tomorrow. ELWS. Top. You also have TOP and TUP. Small caps have been kind of doing their thing. You know, Meta could react to Snap. This is another chart I gotta clean up. It's just been one hell of a stock. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That's insane. That's so crazy. I'll be watching semiconductors kind of. Well, so Taiwan or Texas Instrument does report tomorrow night. That will possibly move the semiconductor market. I'm not sure. Or sector. It may not. What is this? This is Meta. Meta might be a good for a long up here, guys, and test this 298 area. 289 to 298. All right, that's a nice move. 289 to 298. 289 to like 300 even. You know, yeah, 300. That's a nice range right there. Again, you know, it's just will it hold up or not? So that's the question. But there is a range looks like it's being put in here. It's pulled back. When do we start to get the bounce? It's going to need volume. All right, volume's always key. Let's see, a new low. Yeah, this is a 15-minute chart. This is what I love. I might be long Meta tomorrow. I might be. Depending on Snap earnings, too. I don't know how much Snap will move Meta now that Meta is more concerned about what they have going on now and not just like social media. But look at your MACD. You know, it's putting in new lows. Put in new lows right here. Higher MACD. There was a low. That was the low in the MACD. A new low with a higher MACD. Reverse head and shoulders on the MACD. You know, see if it can break out, pull back, and then, you know, at least get right at the 300. It's a range. We're at the bottom end of the range. Perfect time to take advantage of it. If it decides to break out. You know, watch level 2, watch time and sales. What else? What else is there, guys? Again, Neo and such. All right, called out in chat, guys, over 10%, just under 11% today. This was called out in chat at 9:45. So, like I've been telling you guys, like your drilling stocks. All right, look at Rig. It had a nice day today. It's putting in a base here. CVX, Chevron. Look at that. Boom. Bottom end of the range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-day rally. All right. Banks. You can look at like regional or big banks. All right. I can pull up Zion. Look at Zion, guys. Been on a tear. I wasn't able to get long this. It was kind of like you had to be on it from the morning. You know, it was 10:45, but I just, you know, you kind of, after seeing this, you're not sure if it's going to give you a decent move or not. All right, Goldman Sachs. I'm still looking to get long Goldman Sachs on pullbacks. All right, I don't know if I went through it or not, but Goldman Sachs, that's my level that I want to see to get into the top end of the range. Right here at 355.85, 386, call it. Better yet, if I can get a pullback to 345, that would be great. I don't know if I'm going to get it. So I'll take this previous pivot high, all right, which is matched up right here with this pivot low. Okay. That's actually up top. That's actually above us. Shit. So this is, you know, it's putting in a pennant. Maybe we finish putting in the pennant and it pulls back. All right. So energy. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon is pulling back now. Finally, I was wanting to get short to the 9 EMA with it. It just never gave it to me. It just extended and extended and extended, just like every other stock. So we're here now. We'll see if we can get a bounce off of this. See if we can get a bounce. But what do we see? What's most important? The volume's increasing to the downside, guys and girls. That's about all. If you guys look, double topped. See if we can get a pull. I want to see if we get a pullback to 131.50. 131.50 is going to be a pullback. That would be a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. You know what? We might just call it 131. Yeah, 130. It's tough. It's this area. It's that whole area right there. So I'm going to call it that. Let's see. Boom, boom. Support. Let's see what it do. We just broke it, pulled back up. You know what? We're going to call... Yeah, this one's tough. This one's tough. I'm going to keep the level where I got it. Going to keep the level where I got it. Or 130.55. Maybe even. That's also another... I don't know. Amazon's not really on the list. All right, NVIDIA. What did it do today? I got to get rid of all these levels. It looks so nasty. You got a double bottom here with a rising MACD. All right, put it a new low with a higher MACD, somewhat of a higher RSI. Let's see if we can get NVIDIA back up to 453. Okay, I'm going to look for NVIDIA back up to like 453 area. Previous pivot high. There's your base, support. All right, if I got to get more time, I will make it. I just need to clean these charts up. I really do. So there's your pivot high here. You break up higher, you pull them back to it now. You know, there's trying to get some buyers in it, but the buyers really got to step up or this thing's going to break. Guys, have a great night. Thank you guys for joining us. Unless you guys have any questions or anything, throw them in chat. I appreciate you guys everything. If you could, hit the like button. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. If you guys have any questions after the live stream, throw them in chat. If you're struggling with trading, or ask me a question that you think you're struggling with, like, how do I do this? How do I know that? How do I use VWAP? How do I use Fibonacci? How do I use 9 EMA? Anything of that nature, guys. Anything of that nature, we're here to help you with. Again, we're going to watch possibly a pullback to get long, BABA, 94.50 area, things like that. We have a lot on watch tomorrow. We have earnings. All right. We have a little bit of real estate data. But other than that, we're going to watch earnings. I think Spotify could give us, it's a tech company, and I think it could give us some liquidity to play on the long side. Thank you guys so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys. Sorry, I hit the button. If you guys, again, we're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. I'll probably be on a little bit earlier tomorrow morning, about 7 o'clock. It's going to be a big morning. We're going to cover the news. We'll see what we're going to do, trading the news, upside, downside levels, earnings, all that good stuff. Get your sleep, get ready. I will see you guys in the morning. And again, if you could, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you right back here, Ivy League Trading, youtube.com, for the trading day. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you in the morning. Thanks for joining us.